Farm4Profit podcast. Take a listen, have a blast. Farm4Profit podcast. Learn about farming while having a laugh. Farm4Profit podcast.
Welcome back to the Farm4Profit podcast. This is Tanner. This is Corey. And we're hanging out at the Sukkot booth 2025 Farm Progress Show, the end of day two, the most beautiful 2 days of a farm show we have ever been a part of.
I can just imagine everyone's going to be so tired of hearing us say how nice it was.
It was, because it is. We can't not talk about it.
I know. It's, as farmers, it's our duty to talk about the weather, and especially when it's beautiful like this.
We always love our listeners. We love the folks that are hanging out here as well. But if you've got somebody we should talk to or that you want us to talk about, farm4profitllc@gmail.com. You can also send us a text message, 515-207-9640. These guests that we're going to introduce for our Farm for Fun show today came by suggested from a listener.
I'm going to introduce them. I'm going to adjust something on this camera.
Okay, go for it. Fire away.
Today on the Farm for Fun show from the 2025 Farm Progress Show here in the Sukkot booth. They are making Sukkot buildings again. For a while, they had those lines down, so check that out. They are the nice high-rib buildings. We meet up with a power couple from farming and social media. They are fifth-generation corn, cotton, wheat, and soybean farmers where they share their trials and tribulations with the world. Please welcome from West Tennessee, Kelly
and her
husband, Matt Griggs. That has been an inside joke. Tell them why, Tanner.
Absolutely. So if you don't follow us on social media, you should, because we were making promo posts for the Farm Progress Show, and Corey was making sure that we followed all community guidelines, so we didn't give violations on some of the other posts we were making. And he was taking too long, so I said, dang it, I'm going to make this. Whip my phone out selfie style, started talking about who we had, and you get like that brain glitch when you need to remember. You know, we did 12 interviews out here, 12 different guests, and I popped up and I said, yeah, we get to interview Kelly Griggs and her husband. Oh, and I said out loud, he's not going to like that, but that's okay. And I kept going right on by. So we've been playing off of, it's Kelly and her husband.
You played it very well.
And I don't think you care, but you do, all at the same time.
I don't know.
Not really. I could care less about personal recognition. It's all about recognition for our farm and what we're doing on our farm. That's all I care about. So whether it's her or me or Andy or whoever else,
Yeah,
that's all I care about.
that's
Oh,
really cool.
I'm loving the fact that he gets to be my arm candy.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm the farm husband today.
There you go. There you go. So this is a Farm for Fun show. We like to learn the background, and let's go back to when you guys were kids. Did you guys both grow up on farms?
Negative.
You go first, Matt.
I grew up on a farm. I'm a fifth generation. Our farm was started in 1882 by my great-great-grandfather who moved to Cotton Gin about 5 miles up the road to its present location, and that was our industry up until 1995. We did some cattle, some row crops, mainly cotton and soybeans on the side, but the cotton ginning was a primary industry. And then my dad graduated college. He expanded the row crop operation, primarily cotton at that time, while my grandfather continued the cotton gin. And finally, our cotton gin was so small, labor was a problem. It required massive amounts of updates and everything. My dad didn't want any part of it. My granddad shut down the cotton gin in '95. And my dad continued to build the row crop operation. I graduated in '02. From college, came back, worked for him 3 years. He got suddenly ill right at the beginning of planting season in '05, and he passed away a month later. And I was the only one around that could take over the farm, and only by the grace of God, I didn't screw things up too badly, and we're still here 20 years later.
What'd you get a degree in?
I majored in plant and soil science.
Okay. And what college was that?
University of Tennessee at Martin. The cheaper version of UT Knoxville.
The ag school.
Nice.
Meet Maya Cornheads, built better for over 40 years to power through down corn, high yields, and tough fields without flinching.
These durable, low-maintenance heads mean less downtime, less grain loss, and more profit per acre. They have the option for down corn attachments or direct-driven chopping. They ensure that your combine will move smoothly, fast, and full at all times.
Don't just harvest your fields, conquer them. Visit mycornheads.com to find the dealer near you.
That's right. Kelly, what about you?
I did not grow up on a farm. I actually grew up 2.5 hours north of here. in Downers Grove, Illinois. So I'm a
Downers Grove.
Downers Grove, Illinois. It's a suburb of
I
Chicago.
was gonna say Chicago.
I tell people Chicago, and they're just like, "Oh," I'm like, "No, not the city. Grew up in the burbs." Um, there's really no agriculture background other than like Dad would take us out to the fields, and we would watch the combines in like October. But no, I grew up in a business side. My family owned businesses. My grandfather started working for Ray Kroc, aka McDonald's. And my dad went to go work in New Mexico for the family business. So I've always kind of just been raised in business aspect, but completely different. The restaurant side. We moved back to Chicago from New Mexico when I was 7, and then Dad ran the business from there, and then he quit and ventured off another way. My mom taught autistic and behavior kids, so she was, a teacher for 35 years. And then I, graduated high school, went to college, and then started working in the restaurant business. And I was like, I'm not going to go to college anymore. I'm just going to work in the restaurant industry because this is easy.
Yeah.
Ended up having my daughter in 97. So, and then in 2001, I was a single parent of 2 kids. I got an opportunity to move to West Tennessee with my job. And then in 2005, that's when I met him. And I was working in the restaurant industry. And we got married 20 years ago in February.
It seems like forever.
I did think his tractor was sexy.
Hey, that song would have been popular then.
Yeah, it would have been popular
right?
then.
Yeah.
But actually, it was, he took me to the shop, and the cotton picker was in the shop on our first date. And I was like, oh my, what is this? Like, I have to know what this is. Like, this is amazing. And I just thought everything that he did was really, it was different. I thought it was cool. I guess a lot of girls didn't think farming was cool. And
Right, there was a few. Yeah, you weren't the only one.
I was waiting for that. Yeah, I was gonna throw that in if he didn't.
How did you guys meet?
So literally Match.com back in 2005. Yeah.
Does that even exist anymore?
No, it doesn't exist. So, but the funny story is that Paige, her teacher, her 3rd grade teacher, was marrying his best friend. So when we finally matched, we were just like, oh, we know certain people. Hey, I know this person. Oh, yeah, it's my daughter's teacher. And then, ever since then, it was like, okay, yeah.
Lady
And
at
then,
the restaurant last night mentioned Match.com to me. Oh, I dated a guy from Iowa. I met him on Match.com.
yeah, back in the day when it was like normal, not this Tinder, Hinge, whatever that is going on, then it, when farmers, what was it? Not farmers. It was farmers only,
Farmers
right?
only, yeah.
I know people our age that met on that, and now it's gone completely right.
Yeah,
So,
her profile didn't even have a picture on it because that was before the iPhones. It was so easy to upload a video. I don't know what I'm getting into here.
That would
Really?
be so hard. You show up at a restaurant on your blind date or whatever it is, and you're like, "Are you Kelly?" No.
that's pretty much it.
Are
That's what
you
it was.
Kelly? No. Damn.
Really?
Are you
You had
killing me?
you had a picture from when you were in college.
Did it have a
That's
fish?
better than nothing.
Did it have a
When
fish
you
in
were-
it? You have to have a fish in it.
I had a fish hook on my cat brim.
And I was like, this is not the same guy, but no. So our story's a little different just because, he grew up in agriculture, and I like to tell people I chose it. So that's, the ultimately that it works for us because, we're 2 different aspects.
Yeah.
He's the soil and plant and science guy, and I'm the business side, and like I'm marketing, I'm PR. That's what I used to do, and I think it just works.
Well, most farmers like to farm, right? Tractors out in the field, getting dirty. Sometimes the business side isn't as easy.
Yeah, I mean, I love growing stuff.
Yeah.
But I hate all the
Sitting in
business,
the
side,
office?
the taxes, the record keeping, and all of that. I love trials and putting in tests and stuff, but the actual sitting down, the paying the bills, like my hand cramps up every time I sign a check. I hate that part. I'm good at it. I hate it though, but I love the agronomy, the growing stuff part.
Well, the listener that suggested, there's multiple, but the one that I'm referring to right now suggested that we do an episode because of your soil and your plant health knowledge. And unfortunately for them, that's not today. We're going to do a fun show now, and I think there's going to be a part 2 where we can dive in
Awesome.
to the profitability factors. Hopefully, get some good results from what you guys got out of the fields this crop season, and maybe hit up something midwinter.
Yeah, great.
So
Yeah.
just to tease the audience that there's more to come.
Well, and to tease the audience too, the fact that Tennessee, right now we're sitting at 58 days of no rain.
Wow.
No, don't say no rain. We've had a half inch in
It
tenth of
doesn't
an
count.
inch increments, but it hadn't been no rain. Almost no rain, but
I basically say no rain
it's
because
gotten ugly.
in July it was 114, 118 degrees heat index for 25 days.
Wow.
So that half inch is gone.
Yeah, you talk about the pleasant weather. I mean, we come straight from that weather. This is like wonderful.
I need a
I've
parka.
gone to heaven. Like I'm moving my farming operation to Cape. You know,
No,
I'm getting away from
absolutely
Tennessee.
I keep saying, he's like, if we're still in business after this year, because, it is hard.
Yeah.
Like, the whole Mid-South is burned up.
It's real.
I was like, there's plenty of job opportunities in Iowa and Illinois. Goodbye. See you later. I'm going to Florida.
Yeah, since Dave's not here, we're looking for another co-host.
Yeah, no, I'll take that position.
She's
Thank
on
you.
it already.
I will
So-
do it. Thanks. Yeah. No, so it should be interesting just because of the fact that we have been practicing cover crops and soil health for so long, because originally how we started was because of a drought. So now it's, did it work? And we're going to find out when we put a combine in the field. and a cotton
Everything
picker.
we've done for over 10 years has led up to
To
preparing for this type of year. The question is, have we been able to do it long enough to get to the point where we need to be? The short answer is, I don't think so, but we're showing definitive progress in getting there, and hopefully at some point we will have drought-proofed our soils.
So
Drought-proof the soils.
the wheat would already be off,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
How was that?
Wheat was very disappointing. About 10 bushels below my 5-year average, because from January 1st until all throughout wheat harvest, we had records amount of rain. We haven't had a rain in 60 days, but yet we're still above average for the year in our location. I mean, go figure. But when the wheat was headed out, setting yield, I mean, we had like 15 plus inches of rain in May alone. It was unbelievable, which hurt the wheat crop. I mean, it still did good considering what it should have done.
Sure.
We still averaged like 76 bushels an acre.
Wow.
Which
But
shocked
we
us.
expect 85 to 90 is what we expect. So.
And your soil can't take that much rain.
Well, it can, but when it falls literally every other day and there's no sunshine, no photosynthesis going on.
Hey, we get it. We get it. We've had it.
Too much rain hurts me.
Yeah.
He was actually telling me a little bit before this, not to geek out on the soil side of things yet, but he's worked with Dr. Murdoch.
Yep.
And Fragipan.
Yeah.
The word that we never knew
He broke
existed.
it. He broke the
They did.
Fragipan.
I saw it with my own.
Are you Fragipan soils?
Exactly.
Yes.
Very severe. In fact, our soils are so highly erodible. They're the most highly erodible in the entire U.S. It's almost like when you put sugar into sweet tea, it dissolves instantly. When rain hits our soil, it's gone.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of places in our fields we've only got maybe 4 inches of topsoil before we hit that Fragipan. And I just thought it was compaction. But I met with started talking with Dr. Murdoch several years ago, and he's been absolutely instrumental in leading us on a course, and we're making big progress. He's been to our farm. He's dug in our soils. He showed me visually the progress that we've made and how we can get to where we need to be, and that's the road we're on. The field that he was talking to you about, where they've actually dissolved the Fragipan in Kentucky, I saw it with my own 2 eyes. I'm like, so it is possible. There is hope. If we can get through this, we can infinitely increase the amount of water our crops can access throughout the growing year. So it's possible, but it's going to take years of work.
Yeah. So I'm just curious, right? We learned how you met. And obviously you liked him and stuck around. Or you liked her and didn't kick her out. One way or the other.
Kind of like we're just stuck with each
We
other.
compromised extremely well.
How did you start integrating yourself into the farming operation with no experience?
Basically was, so I was working 60, 70 hours in the restaurant business. When we got married, I came with 2 kids, one of each. And he was like, hey, yes, I don't do babies, so this is going to work. He ended up adopting Paige and Nate. They were 7 and 3 when we got married. So we were already ahead of our friends. You know, we're like, man, in our 40s, it's gonna be amazing. Like, we're gonna tour the world. We're gonna have these
be
kids
social
out.
media influencers.
Yeah, no. We had
That was
dreams.
not on the horizon at that point.
No, at that point we were like, oh my gosh, we could get an RV. We could be those people that like go across the state. And no, so it just, I don't even know where we were going with that.
I mean, it all started with, a year or two
Oh,
in.
yeah,
Like,
there
she
you
was
go.
like working like weird hours, restaurant hours, and like I'd be working by myself, and I get a tractor stuck in Jackson, and like I call her up like, hey, I need you to come pull me out, and I knew she had the flexibility to go get a tractor and come pull me out. So it started out that way, and it just kind of slowly transitioned. She learned the ropes, started learning how to operate more equipment and stuff, and then finally, was it, I think 2010 or 2011, I had a pretty severe accident in the shop. I got knocked 13 feet off of a ladder onto a concrete floor, and I wound up breaking my wrist.
Only your wrist.
Yeah, luckily.
Yeah, he's
Could have
lucky. Trust
Could have been a lot more, but I mean, doctor's orders were like, I can't use my wrist, and like a dummy, I mean, I still used it, and I wound up having to have surgery on it, and then I couldn't use it. And she,
I had to step in.
yeah, and then finally said, hey, let's do this. She quit her job and started working on the farm full time, and it was really trial by fire. Because I know we had one young man that worked for us for 3 years. He actually had the opportunity to go start his own farming operation, and I hired another, what I thought was a good young man to take his place. Come to find out, he had a bad problem with peels. I had to fire him a week in right as we were starting to haul soybeans. I didn't have the time to haul soybeans, so I told her, it's on you. Get in the truck. You know where to go. You'll figure
Literally.
you'll figure the rest of it out.
I was like, I've driven, like, he taught me how to drive truck stick. I've driven cars, you know. And I said, so you want me to get in this 18-wheeler? Hauling 86,000 pounds.
No, 80,000. We're never above we're never above the legal limit.
Okay. 80,000 to the T. And I've never driven semi-truck trailer full of soybeans and said, oh, by the way, you're going to drive this 53 miles one way and back. And I'm like,
That's a lot of time to learn on the way.
yeah,
53
pretty much,
miles?
yeah. So I said, okay.
Well, once you get on the 4-lane, you're golden. You got it from here.
The 4-lane. But, you know, I did that for 7 years. And, like, it just, we jumped in, and I guess I'm just built different. I came from a generation that if you wanted something, you worked really hard for it. And I started working when I was 13, 14 years old, making a paycheck. You know, I was taught, like, hey, you go and you do this and you work hard and you be respectful, and if you want it, you can achieve it. So I guess I'm just, you know, I'm a lot different than most.
There's a lot of people, male or female, would have said, no, I ain't doing that.
Right. And I looked at it like, well, first of all, you know, his dad died 4 months into when we were dating. And when, you know, the day after the funeral, he was just looking at me and he's like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, we're going to do this together and we're going to figure it out. And then in September, he got down on his knee in a cornfield, dirty olive oil everywhere, and literally said, would you marry me? By the way, the ring's in the pocket. I was like, what? This is my whole, like, you know, everybody dreams about a beautiful engagement, and you're like, this fool gets down in a cornfield after calling me from work saying I'm stuck and I'm broke down.
You married practical. You didn't marry romantic.
No, I did not. Apparently, I did not.
I need to know you're going to be a truck driver for the rest of my life.
Like, am I really getting into this? But, you know, we were married, you know, a couple months later, and I honestly think if we weren't married as quick as we were and then got into farming, I don't think we would have been married anymore. It literally, farming together side by side, and it's just you two. There was no help. My parents still lived in Chicago. His mom, she couldn't help. There was no one. It was me and him. That's it. And then occasional people to help us, you know, here and there. But that was it. It was always me and him and kids. So, you know, we had to rely on each other, but at the same time, it's like, you weren't like, I'm going to bury you in the back 40. You know, like, certain days you're just like, I can't do this. And then you go home together. So I think the first 10 years of our marriage, we were just angry and ticked off at one another, but it was hard. And, you know, having 2 kids, and then in 2007, we lost a baby, and then had to keep farming. And then in 2008, we got surprised with a redhead. So
Hey, those are the best kind.
Hi. You know, and then we're adding another kid, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, now we have daycare, and then we have 2 kids, and he's got this job, and your life is chaos. But I look back on that now and think, man, those were the easy times when you have young kids in school and stuff. Now we have adult children, and one of them's going to make us a grandparent
Yes.
in January.
Congrats.
So, yeah, it's time really flies by, honestly.
You know, we've done a couple of episodes on what it's like to work with family.
Oh man,
Have we ever done episodes with what it's like to work with your spouse?
I don't think so. No, here
And
we
I know 2 more people who work together side by side who are really good friends with ours,
Yeah?
or with friends with us, who literally they work together. It's just them, it's them 2, and their kids. And we like talk with them all the time, and you know, it is different because there isn't a lot of us out there, but then there is.
You would probably have to have a lot of discipline on alone time when you need it, because there's probably not a lot of it.
No, and I mean, one of the most popular conversation topics between husband and wife at the end of the day, well, how was your day, honey? I know how your day was. I've already lived it once. I don't want to live it again.
Correct. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like, how was your day? Well, I contemplated putting you in the back 40 and
Yeah.
never telling anyone. That was my day. Yeah. And he's probably thinking, this is the worst decision I ever made, asking her to work with me. So,
But going back to your original question, though, one of the philosophies on our farm is I want everybody on the farm to know how to do everything, because you never know who's going to be here tomorrow or whatever. So I want her, even though her primary job might not be to run the combine or cotton picker or planter, I want her to know how to do it to where I'm very accident prone. Right? I might not be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
I want her to know how to do it. I want Andy to know how to do it. I want my son to know how to do it if he's there. So we try to make sure that even though there's areas we specialize in, everybody knows how to pitch in and fill in for somebody.
That's probably something we need to do better here at Farm for Profit. I banned Corey from touching the equipment about 3 years ago.
I like that.
He likes it, but I think it's time to get him back in.
I think you
setting
need to
stuff
know.
up.
You need to know how to
You need
set
to
it
know how
up.
to do it.
You need to be a team player.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could teach Kelly how to edit videos. That would
No.
be something.
No.
She refuses to
No.
do that.
No. I will edit videos, and then you can grocery shop and pay the bills and clean the house, deal with your 17-year-old son.
I already do a lot of that as it is. I'm a modern man. I
He
pitch
is a
in
modern man.
all around the house.
So
We got to meet with them out at Ag PhD in the field day that they have in Baltic, and that was a lot of fun. I'm excited to explore some of those stories, but I cut you out.
Yeah, I just curious. What was like the scope of the farm? What were the crops you were farming when you guys got married, and has that changed?
Well, I mean, we grew like 97% cotton up until 2002, and finally cotton it got so hard to make a living on. My dad had started incorporating grain with corn and soybeans. I incorporated wheat in 2006 because I wanted to jumpstart building the soil. Wheat adds a lot of organic matter at it. It's a winter crop and everything.
I mean, isn't wheat just a cover crop?
If you don't manage it, it can be. And then shortly after that, I really wanted to jumpstart our soil health journey. Then I started incorporating cover crops and everything. But it's primarily been cotton, corn, soybeans, wheat. But this year, due to Bungie and Pioneer partnering up, with this sustainable aviation fuel, we're going to try some canola for the first time this winter. It's going to be an exciting venture. I'm excited to grow a crop that somebody actually wants to buy.
Exactly.
It's harder to find that now these days.
Yeah.
I've been wanting some different crops that we can get some premiums for and all that kind of stuff, and it seems like all we have is ethanol.
Yeah.
And we got to. I'm thankful that we have ethanol, because if it wasn't that, it would just be rail, sending it out on the rail. But
I mean, I'm thankful we do have good outlets, especially for corn. We got ethanol, we've got Tyson, we got the river, so we do have good options.
So you guys have good basis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like right now, I can book a December delivery inland away from the river for 15 over. If I carry it to the river, I can get 20 over.
Huh.
Yeah.
We've been in some of those positive bases.
We have. Yep.
I get down into like Texas Panhandle and some of those, they got like $1 plus.
Yeah.
That's
They do.
Man, I need some of that.
I mean,
we all need some of that.
I mean, if I had some corn last month, I probably could have gotten 50 to 60 over. So.
Yeah. So corn's probably the only one you really have a feeling on for yield, right? You can kind of go out and is there going to be anything there?
Honestly, this year I have no idea. We've got the kernel count for 180 to 200 bushel corn. We're not going to have the kernel weight for 180 200 bushel corn. It might. I'm expecting 130 to 140 bushels on corn.
Really?
Yeah, soybeans.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
they're flat out fried on our heels. If we do 10 bushels, I'll be surprised.
Wow.
Our
Yeah.
bottoms can still be 50 to 60 because we've built them up enough. They've held on. And
Right.
cotton's going to be all across the board. I'm probably going to have some 600-pound cotton. I'm probably going to have some 1,200-pound cotton.
How do you estimate cotton yield?
It's
So-
impossible. I've been growing cotton all by myself for 20 years. I've guessed
We
every
have
year,
no- and we're wrong.
and I've never guessed it even remotely close.
There
It's
was
going to
a-
be what it's going to be.
There was a year, and we were filming the TV show, and we had 3 different hurricanes just plop over us in October of 18. And one of them, Harvey, dropped 18 inches in like the whole week. It just would not stop raining. And our cotton is completely wide open, ready to be picked. Now, cotton is, I kind of say it like this. You put a whole bag of cotton balls outside. Let it get rained on 1,000,000 times. Do you think it's going to fluff out and be worth anything?
Yeah.
No. So we're out there looking at it. It's starting to regrow. We're starting to see stained. We're like, oh, this is just going to be horrible. And we're just like, I'm out there just bawling eyes like, oh, great. This is the last year we're farming. And we go out there. We farm it. The gin calls him and said, hey, come up here. I want you to show you something. And he gets up there. And he calls me. He's like, there's no way. There's no way. And it was one of the best fields we picked. And it had 18 inches of rain on it.
Wow.
It made 0 sense to us. But at that time, we were like, somebody upstairs is really looking out for us. And at the time that we were filming that, people got to see that.
Yep.
So that's what we've seen. You can do whatever you want. You can put everything in it. And then God says, oh, just wait a second. Just wait a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think it looks bad?
Yeah.
Hold on. I got something for you.
Yeah.
And it really blew us away. So
And on vice versa, I've had some what I thought was going to be record cotton.
God goes,
that's what I'm saying. I'm like,
You got a little too proud
you
of
got a little
yourself
too
this
proud of
year.
yourself. Like he'll drive by and go, man, that looks so good. I'm like, yeah, it can look good, but the minute you pick it and it gets ginned and it comes back and it's like, oh, wow,
Yeah,
that
I mean,
was horrible.
even when we're harvesting, we still don't know. We still got to wait
Yeah.
for it to be ginned and then get the report
Yep.
back what the turnout was and everything. So it's not like, I mean, we can watch a yield monitor, we can calibrate a yield monitor, but
Doesn't matter.
a 2 or 3% difference in turnout can make 500 pounds an acre difference in your yield.
It was fascinating that we did an interview around how the cotton gin works, and I didn't realize there was so much value in the cotton seed.
All right.
Right? Once it all gets processed, it's like,
Cotton seed is approximately 60% of the weight.
yeah, it was just kind of neat to learn about alternative crops and take some of that knowledge in.
Yeah, and it's a very interesting process to see. And I always tell people, if you want to come down in October and you're not busy, please come on down. But we're putting you on a piece of equipment.
Yeah, I mean, agronomically, cotton is one of the most fascinating plants to
Yeah.
grow, and then you got all the processing after that that's fascinating. It's really, and I take it for granted because I've been around it my entire life. But then I come up here and talk to people about cotton, and they have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about. They know their clothes are made out of it.
this
but
is
that's
my
it.
naiveness of cotton. Is it picking cotton or stripping cotton?
We pick cotton.
You pick it.
All right, so Texas strips it,
Okay.
and Tennessee picks it.
Why?
So in Texas, they are shorter, and they only grow like less than a foot. And the stripper is going to take the entire plant in, and then picks the lint off of it, and then disposes of the plant. With us, we are picking it off the plant and leaving it.
So strippers like shorter plants.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shorter, less volume. Whereas pickers deal with the taller, more rank stuff, and the fiber grade is going to be better coming off of a picker because it's not going to have as much trash and stuff in it.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have put 2 and 2 together. So that it does. It all adds up and makes sense. We, like I alluded to earlier, we got to hang out a little bit with Kelly because you'd gone to bed already. Up at
He was out.
Ag PhD's field days. And it is interesting to learn about the dynamic of working with spouses. But then there's also that dynamic that I think translates to father-son relationships, any type of family. Like, no, you made me mad. I'm not stopping to pick up lunch for you on the way back. Or I might have left the cheese wrapper still on the cheese in your sandwich.
I was going to say, Dave leaves cheese in your truck
Oh, that's true. Dave
Oh, God.
for months
Oh, fine.
in the back pocket of his seat.
It doesn't stink anymore, does it?
No, it smells good.
Freaking
I can't smell it anyway.
it's stuffed up. Yeah, but you've also been very open about sharing on social media. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing as far as sharing. You got your social media. You've got a project with Acres TV. What does it look like on that creation side?
Harvest season is here, and so is your competitive advantage.
That's right. The Estes XPR3 concaves are a total game changer. Think one concave, all crops, no bands, no switching. From wheat to corn, soybeans, you're rolling non-stop. Backed by their patented technology with 250% more threshing surface, you get cleaner grain, fewer fines, and beast-level capacity, all without trading combines.
If you're interested, visit EstesPerformanceConcaves.com to upgrade your combine today. Estes XPR3, harvest smarter, faster, and better.
I basically handle YouTube. I've got to do a lot on Facebook, Kelly's Instagram and Facebook, and then a lot of pretty much everything that we do on YouTube, we also put on Acres TV. So we originally kind of saw it as one of our callings, not just to produce crops, but we wanted to educate the general public about what we do and why we do it, because we're such a minority. You've got an extreme major liberal wing of media that wants to portray and demonize all of big time agriculture as, hey, we're trying to kill everybody, we're drenching our crops in pesticides, and we wanted to showcase that we're some of the biggest environmentalists out there. We're trying to produce a quality product with no margins of profit. We're doing the best we can and educate people and reach out, and that's kind of where it started and everything. And then we did that, and we'd come to farm shows, and I'd actually have farmers come up to me and say, hey, I appreciate your videos. You might not realize, but I actually learned something agronomically about it. So then we kind of tried to hit both groups. We would include general knowledge, how and why, but we'd also try to get more deeper into the agronomics or repair and maintenance, and to go to that aspect also. And I actually had a guy come up to me today, like, I learned so much about how to repair my combine. I've owned it 2 years. It's just like yours, but I watched your videos. I learned so much off of it. I mean, that's helping other people out, teaching other people is really what drives us.
Yeah, we absolutely, and I'll go on record saying this, I hate the term influencer.
Oh.
Because I'm not influencing you to do anything. We are helping you. Like, we want to help. And, ever since we did the TV show and then COVID hit and they weren't going to renew anything, he and I were like, man, we could really tap into this, because so many saw us on that platform and they were like, well, we want more of it. And because everyone had said, you guys are the most relatable people that we can, talk to. And that was our whole goal, was to be authentic, dysfunctionally relatable, and have people say, wow, my life is just like yours and I appreciate it. Mine was more like, I wanted to find my community because I was by myself. I had not met anybody who was farming with their husband in the South. I was told to go back home and make sandwiches. I was told to never drive. You need to be at home raising the babies and bringing Matt breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I mean, I've had that told to my face. And I'm out here working 14-hour days driving an 18-wheeler, and these guys are coming up to me telling me that I don't need to be doing this. And I'm like, okay, that's your opinion, but who else is going to? He's probably got a dad or a brother. No, it's just us. So it got to me, because I thought, man, are there other women like me out there? Or am I by myself? And it really made me depressed and sad. Like, oh, what did I do? I lost my whole identity. I had friends in my career, and now I have nothing, and I have these men telling me I suck and I need to go home and be a better wife and a better mom. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, my kids are with us 10 times more than they were when I was working a full-time job, and he was struggling trying to get them from this thing or that thing. And I just thought as a positive thing. Yeah. And then I ended up meeting women who do exactly what I do. And I thought, oh, here's my community. And then the ones who felt like they didn't have a voice, they would come up to me and say, thank you so much for sharing it, because I feel like, oh, I'm heard. And so then it just kept growing from there and there. And to this day, I still have people come up to me and say, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And there are days where you think, oh, I'm not making a difference with nobody. Mm-hmm. And then someone comes and tells you they appreciate you, and
Yeah.
you've never met them.
Yep.
Yeah, and what Kelly was saying about being called influencers, nothing curdles my blood more than being called an influencer. You know, I want to present what we're doing and why we're doing it, giving you the information you need, and then let you make up your own mind whether you want to do it the same way we did or not, or you want to do it another way. I want to be called an educator, not an influencer. It just, ugh.
Well, you think about the way anybody buys something, changes something, learns something. It's from somebody else. Very rarely is it from a method that's not. I mean, when you put things out on social media and YouTube, you create an infinite number of potential neighbors.
Exactly.
Right? That's how you learned was from the neighbor. You saw the neighbor do it. You went to the combine clinic, whatever it was. That was your hand-to-hand combat. Now digitally, you can do this over and over and over and have such a great and vast reach throughout everything itself. But one thing you guys do that we haven't had very many guests on here that do is y'all don't hold back. Like nothing's off limits.
No.
Like when people are telling you, thanks for saying that. Like you've crossed a lot of bridges. You said you're accident prone. You talked about falling off your ladder, but you had a combine accident that was pretty traumatic. Changed some things in the operation and how you do things. You've battled cancer.
Yeah, twice. No, 3 times.
You already
3 times a lady.
you already mentioned that
Yeah.
the deaths in the family from parents to kids of your own. I mean, there's been an awful lot of
Yeah, tragedy.
I would say any more than normal. I mean, this kind of stuff happens in just about every farm family. The circumstances might change a little bit, but it's a whole cycle of life and dealing with what we deal with. Everybody's got hardships and stuff they've got to deal with. I wouldn't say we're any more unique than anybody else out there.
The only difference is, I think, is we had to work through those together. And, in the day of his combine accident, I was so ticked at him, and he was mad at me. And honestly, we can't remember what the heck we were mad at each other for. And, this man shouldn't have survived. I should have been planning a funeral. I should have been planning how I was going to harvest the rest of the crops because it was corn harvest. And he went home 6 hours later. And I just looked at him, he looked at me, and I was like, this crap doesn't matter anymore. It really doesn't. We just need to live life and be thankful every single day we wake up because he got a second chance. When are we going to get those again? You don't. So, and then he kept saying, I really need to put this out there. And I said, all right, if that's what you feel you need to do, yeah. Because he's like, there's no way I should be here. Like, the good Lord, there's a reason for this. And then we realized the reason was to reach other people to wear seatbelts in a combine.
Right.
And then have people tell us, oh, I've never worn a seatbelt before.
Yeah, don't take safety shortcuts.
Don't say, and that meant a lot to us. And then, just having people say, yeah, you're right. It doesn't matter anymore. Like, it doesn't. And like I said, I don't even think we can remember what we were mad about. Probably something really stupid,
For those that don't know, what happened?
I tried to do my best Dukes of Hazzard imitation of a combine over a corn head. Going down the road into harvest. Just got done with corn harvest. I was like, I got to get home and get set up for soybeans. That's the next thing. Going down the road, I've gone down a million times before. I had my 6-row header on the combine, and I had it latched. I didn't have the latches properly adjusted to grip it, and hit a rough part in the roads like I had a million times before. Hit it just right. Header started coming off the faceplate, flipped over. An inverted corn header makes a perfect ramp, and hit it going 22 miles an hour. Wasn't wearing my seatbelt, threw my hands off the steering wheel, bounced around the cab a few times, and finally it just launched me through the windshield. I hit the feeder house, landed about 5 feet in front of the tire, and if you're taking physics, the first law of physics is an object in motion tends to stay in motion. My combine's 40,000 pounds. I don't care what it hits, it's not going to stop on a dime, but it did that day.
It did.
It did.
Completely
It absolutely did. And all the damage done to the combine, it's all drive-by-wire. The electrical system was fine. There was 3 wires cut in the entire combine. It was the 3 going to the hydrostatic propulsion lever. They were cut cleanly in half. All the rest of the wires in that bundle, just fine. But
What?
No, it's not. Yeah, it shocked everybody.
it was only by the grace of God I survived. There is no other
There's no
explanation in this world.
And we've had people actually come on, because that's everybody says you have that one video that goes viral. That was it. And we had people try and debunk it. We're like, you can't. There's absolutely no, I don't care, there's no way you can debunk it. And, from everybody, and I was right down the street. This happened literally a quarter mile from our house. And I was down the street, and I didn't, when I had to go to the bathroom, I was like, I'm not peeing in the field today. Went to the house, came back out, and I thought, he's right behind me. What the heck? And I thought, oh, man, that year was the year he hit a huge washout and, bent the rim on the tire. And I thought, oh, man, that tire finally blew. It's right there. And I'm thinking, oh, wait, it's in a bad spot. Our roads are very, very small and hills you can't see. And I thought, he's going to have another someone's going to hit him. He's not going to see it. So I get in the car to go over there, and that just sinking feeling in my stomach, that I don't think it's that. And our neighbor's kid called me while I was going up there, and he's like, Mr. Matt has been thrown from the combine. I'm like, what? And then I roll up on that, seeing him on the side of the road. And the first thing I thought was, I have to keep my crap together. And there was a woman there holding him on the side. And I go up to him and just to make sure and put my hands on him. And he looks at me and goes, I need to get up and look at my combine. I need to see the damage.
I was already making a list of what parts I need to order.
I was like, you're bleeding from the head, and you probably have broken spine. You're not moving. I was like, that's it. I'm in charge. And I went to go find his phone. I was calling 911. I was calling people while on the phone with 911. I called our friend down the street, and I said, I know this is going to sound really weird, but Matt was thrown through the combine. It's a bad accident. I need you here now because the combine's in the middle of the road. I need somebody to come get it off. He was like, Oh, where are you at? I was like, Bird Road down the street. I'll be there. He showed up 15 minutes later. And then I called our neighbor who is right there, and he had construction equipment. I said, hey, Matt's had an accident in front of your house. I need the code to your backhoe. I'm doing this all while he's sitting there. Because you just go into saving mode and saving, we gotta get this off the road. We got to get him there. And I'm thinking other people, and by the time it's all said and done, you're going to the hospital, and I'm like, he's not going to make it. Something's, this isn't good. And I called a friend who ran a Facebook page called Farm Life, and they had 350,000 followers, and I said, I need you to put this out there, because I'm going to lose it if I don't get help. So he put it out there, and with 4 hours, it went viral all the way to Australia. Of people praying for someone they didn't even know.
We show up to the emergency room, and come to find out the ER doctor on call was an alumni of my fraternity in college. We knew each other.
And
and let me tell you, from the time they rolled me in till the time they rolled me out of the ER, normally you can't even get seen in 5 hours. I was in and out in 5 hours of the ER with those major injuries. And has anybody ever left the hospital in 5 hours before?
No, I did make a comment the other day about how fast it seems you can have a baby and go home.
Then go to the emergency
I feel like
room.
the first kid that we had, we got a couple extra days,
Yeah,
taking
exactly.
care of someone to wheel the baby in, wheel it out. And then I feel like now if you have a baby on a Thursday, you're going home Friday night because nobody wants to work the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. And then we found out that the doctor, that he was a doctor, and he was the director of the emergency room department there. He had actually heard the accident on the scanner. So he had already been putting things in place before we even got there. And he bought hay off of us for years. And
Yeah, he tried his best to buy a John Deere 5010 tractor off of me.
And he wouldn't even give it to him. I was just like, wow, this is insane. So next thing you know, it's
But
viral and stuff.
but God had put in
Yeah.
certain people in certain places that day to influence how smoothly things went. It was looking back on it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Just how like clockwork everything went for the best possible situation. Turned something bad into something really good.
Yeah, and we've learned from that. It's like we can be mad at each other all day long, but tomorrow you could not be here. So don't take that for granted. And it really has changed, I think, how we work together and how we go home together too.
Yep. So what's one piece of advice you can give other couples that are listening?
Right.
Maybe for some reason we found somebody that didn't know you guys existed. That's got to be rare. But maybe we did, and now they've found somebody that they can connect with.
I'm not going to say it's impossible to do, but it's very hard to do. You leave the farm at the farm, and you leave the house at the house. You don't go mad, angry. If you don't get mad at home, then get mad about something at home. Don't carry your anger from the farm back home. Now, in reality, very, very difficult to do, and we still fail on a daily basis. But to train yourself to have that mindset will help astronomically.
I could just see it. He's there. He's pissed because his mac and cheese is burnt, and she goes, I made mashed potatoes and steak. Really, he was just pissed about something in the field.
No, I've been preaching for years. Like, the business is across the street. Leave the business there. When you come home, home is home. And we shouldn't have to worry about the business. And he kept saying, well, you don't understand. I am the business, and the buck stops with me. And I went, yeah, but we have 3 kids, and we have a life over here, and these problems, you need to leave those problems there, and we need to deal with that. We've raised 2 pretty decent adult children. Very proud of it. Like, they're not on drugs. They've never been arrested. So, hey, you gotta, we're proud of that. And trying to get one more raised. And you gotta have your family time, and you have to have your farm time.
Yep.
And I know a lot of people have that problem, but you can do it if it's just you guys. We did it. We're living proof that we raised some decent adult children as dysfunctional as we are, It's like, that's a testament, because we've had people come back and tell us, like, man, Paige and Nate we love them. They work so hard. Like, our daughter is 4 years into a job where she's now a director. And we attest that to, good work ethic giving them, and our son never gives up and is always trying to do more and get a better job. And Carter, we're working on, so,
And the other big takeaway that I've learned is communication. Like, for so long, and I still am to some degree, I was a terrible communicator. I just automatically assume that people think the way that I think. And then I'm trying to explain, like, hey, this is what we're going to do today. And I have to explain one thing 3 times, like, why are you not getting this? It's so simple in my head. Why is it not simple in your head? So, learning how to communicate and be open is a skill I've really tried to acquire that has helped things a lot.
Yeah, and he just learned that, like, the last 3 years. So it's been 17 years of suffering.
I thought you were going to say last week.
Close to it, though.
It's an ongoing
process.
Yeah.
But, and I think it works because we're 2 different people. We don't like...
There's one thing in this life that we can agree on. We both hate mushrooms. Everything else we pretty much disagree.
Well, you're going to be unhappy tonight because we've got roasted mushrooms, sauteed mushrooms, and
we can always hit McDonald's and we're fine. No,
all
and
mushrooms.
That's what everybody says. They're like, well, wait a minute. You don't like the same movies. He likes cold. I like warm. I hate the cold. He hates the beach. I love the beach. We do like the mountains. We've agreed to like the mountains over there.
Okay, so 2 things.
Oh, yeah, and then...
You dislike and
All
alike.
right, that's 2. We got 3 more. We can fill up one hand. might take a while.
Look, they're working together. There you go.
We're working together. Like, it's, people always ask, like, what is it? And I said, I guess just opposites do work. It's how
we
you
don't
work.
like the same music.
No, we don't. We don't like the same music. He likes to read books. I don't.
Yeah, who likes reading?
And then people actually ask, like, well, how are you guys still together? I'm like, well...
She's an extreme extrovert. I'm an extreme introvert,
Yeah, we have absolute, like, I love coming to farm shows because I get to meet my friends, know, and he's just like, I just want to go back to the room. I don't want to do this anymore. Like, when I saw you guys at that restaurant, he was just like, I'm tapped out. I don't want to do this. I'm going up. I'm done.
Yep.
And, you just have to find what works, and communication definitely is the key, but it took a really long time to learn that.
We found a neat little restaurant last night and got to eat as a team on a patio, and got to sit down with Ethan Clark and his fiance and have a good conversation with them, and met a couple of folks that are some South Africans here on H2A work to run equipment, and it was so neat to connect with them and hear their story. There's also one of them always wears his lap belt now after a Hagee incident. Yep. But the cool part about the entire night is our waitress was so good. She did such a great job. She couldn't remember anything, but she told you that, so you just made sure everything was taken care of and noted. And she was telling a story about how proud she is of her kids and what they've achieved and what they're doing. And she does this for fun and social. to get out of the house
Yeah.
and see people and be a part of the community and hang out. And it just was a combination of a great night all put together. Good food, good drinks.
It was. Yeah, great food.
That's funny because I can relate to that because for years I would get, like bored in the wintertime, and I ended up working at a restaurant that a woman I know, they own it, and she was like, well, no, why don't you be? I was like, no, I don't want to be in charge anymore. I just want to come here and I just want to have fun and make a little money and help out and actually talk to people, because you literally sit in a tractor all day long with your own thoughts and or someone on a radio that you just turn off on bad days, and
Yep.
it's good to get out. And that's the other thing with him. He can go home and he can sit down and play Nintendo and loves Zelda. So he'll sit there for 6 hours, but that's how he unwinds. And me, I'm like, well, I'm going to go see a friend over here.
Yeah.
And the other key thing to a good marriage when you're farming, separate vacations.
Oh.
Separate vacations. So I go on a girls' trip every year, and he goes on a guys' trip every year.
But
And
you
then-
also have done trips together.
Yeah.
Like
it's
you went on a
fine.
giant boat full of farmers.
Yeah.
Somehow we always get stuck on a freaking cruise ship or at the beach. I don't get it. We can't ever do anything I want to do.
That's what Corey thinks of cruises. He can't even stop yawning.
No. Yeah. I'm struggling here. I can't breathe.
You can't breathe. You're having issues.
I am.
How was that cruise? I'm not gonna say what cruise and whose cruise it was, but
So a couple years ago, we were always coming to farm shows, right? And people were like, man, I'm kind of tired of coming to farm shows. Wish you could just hang out on a normal basis. And I thought, And everyone, I love cruising. I think it's the best thing in the world. It's a one-stop shop. You can get on. And let me tell you, the people watching is amazing. It is great. But in January and February, where can you always find a farmer? On a cruise ship.
that's true.
It's like we sniff each other out, and you end up having the best time. And you talk about things back home, but you're having fun. And it's like you just leave all your problems at the dock. You're out. I mean, I've hooked up with, a bunch of different people from Middle Tennessee. We've,
definitely
Georgia.
clipped
Not
Not that, okay. Gotten
Clipped.
together.
I don't know if that helps you.
It's an open marriage.
Gotten it. Okay. Times are tough, okay.
If we're playing that game.
But I told him, I came home and I said, I really want to try and do this thing where we do like a farmers off the farm. And let's start with a cruise, because everyone has always asked me, well, how do you get the cheapest deals? How do you get this and this? And I just would tell them, and they're like, wait a minute, it costs that much? Wait, you just get on the boat and not pay another dime. And farmers are cheap, right? They want the best bang for their buck. So ended up working with a travel agent, and I said, let's do this, and let's just, open it up to everyone. And we had 35 strangers from all over just say, yeah, I want to go on a cruise with everybody. And he will say it wasn't great, but for me,
I mean, it's a good time. The food on this cruise absolutely sucked, though. And
That's a
I mean,
bummer.
the food drives my enjoyment.
Yeah, I would
Obvious-
agree.
clearly he enjoys his job. But the first day, we all got to know each other. We had known each other from Facebook, or people watched us on YouTube, and we had everybody from dairy to row crops to hay to a goat farm. And by the second night, I would get up and see there's 3 tables, and everyone is talking amongst themselves and realizing that, man, I needed this person in my life because they're going through the same thing I'm going through. And this table over here, they have young children, and they're going through this with their family, and they're having family issues. And these ones, well, they've got adult children like we do, and they're like, man, living life large. But we also have problems with our adult children. And I just thought, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to create a community where we could all go and not be judged, not be on a farm show, and just relax and have fun and find your people. And now those people talk to each other every single day.
A lot of people thought that it was like an influencer cruise or whatever. I didn't carry a camera or nothing. I'm on vacation. I'm not
Matt,
doing
Matt
this
the
stuff.
influencer.
No, it was just a bunch of farmers that you might have talked with online, but actually getting together and making those connections, which is one of the great benefits of what social media has allowed us to do.
Yeah,
And it was, to me, it was a huge blessing. And actually, it's been, now we're taking more over New Year's Eve with families. It's a lot smaller because of, everybody's situation.
Yeah.
But I don't want it to be 100 people or 200 people. I want it to be like, if you guys want to say, hey, we want to come with our kids and drop them off at the camp and we don't have to see them for 8 hours,
Sure.
heck yeah, I'm
Heck
down,
yeah.
And then you get to hang out with other people who are just like you and have the same problems.
Yep.
And the thing is, there's no judgment whatsoever. And I've had 2 of them say they've never left the dairy farm in 20 years, but they came on that cruise. And when she called me up, I sat in tears for a day because she was like, I've never felt like I've ever belonged ever. And when I went on that cruise, I felt for the first time in 20 years I belonged. And you didn't judge me for where I came from or what I do for a living. And for that, I can't begin to thank you. It's changed my personality and how I affect life. And that right there, I told him, I said, that's why I did this.
That's awesome.
And I want to do it.
That dairy lifestyle is tough.
It
Because
is.
it is. They need milk every single day.
Yeah, we think it's bad, but that's a 24/7
Yeah.
job, 365.
I like the part about cruise to where it seems like the ones that I've been on, I can go to bed and wake up someplace different.
Yes.
It
And
all
that's
happens.
my favorite.
All happens while I'm sleeping or while the entertainment's happening. And Dave was just on a cruise, and he found a farmer. Yep. Identified by a hat and a funny joke about a free fuel trailer. It's still connected to folks.
Exactly. And it's crazy because you can go pretty much anywhere and you will find someone involved in agriculture. And then it's like we're such a small community anyways, small population, and you just feel like, oh, those are my people. I'm going to go to that. And yeah, I'm excited to see how it goes. I know this year is hard for everyone, but we're going to do like land cruises. But more of, all right, you've gotten together. Hey, you guys are at the farm show. Let's do something afterwards. Like, let's stay. Like we talked about Louisville, Louisville. You don't have to go the whole time. Or let's meet up like Monday and Tuesday and just hang out and do fun stuff and then go to the show.
Yep.
That to me is fun. And then it makes it like a vacation, but then I also have to work and you can do 2 at once.
Yep. Well, I appreciate you two helping us shut the show down.
I know, we
on-
literally
on
shut
day
everybody
2.
down.
It's the most fun time of the day. We can be tired, but you guys have really helped us bring the energy to this. I do thank you for that. And we left so much on the table, right?
Yeah.
We can come back and talk about all the things on this piece of paper that we never touched on.
Yeah. I'm excited for that. I really am.
Yeah. Dive into that a little bit deeper. So if the listeners want to find Kelly and her influencer husband,
T-shirt. I'm just gonna put it where he walks around and goes, Kelly husband. That'd be great.
where can they find you guys?
Well, we have on YouTube it's Griggs Farms LLC, and on Instagram it's Griggs Farms TN.
And then on Facebook,
we're
it's Matt Griggs and Kelly Griggs.
Yeah. You got to keep
He's-
something separate.
Yeah, and then if you want the scientific stuff, we got a website, GriggsFarmsLLC.com. It's got all of our research. Everything we do is on the website.
Yeah.
Test
Even-
plots, everything.
Even the PDF spreadsheets he made by himself this past winter, all by him lonesome. And he's like, I'm just gonna give them out for free. And I was like, yeah, I don't know about this. Maybe you can get off and make some money
Get them before he charges you.
Yeah,
Out
get him
there
before I charge you.
and find it. Well, listeners, we always appreciate you. We'll be back for part 2. Thank you for the suggestions. Keep them coming in. Corey?
I'm gonna go crack a cold one at our after party, so you should do the same.
Exactly.
Hey, that's music in my ears right now.